Good morning. We will be starting in just a minute, just waiting for Dan to jump on here, guys. Happy Saturday. If there's anything that I can answer for you, please feel free to pop that in the chat box. Let me just see where he's at. So welcome Eve, Sharon, Michael, Maria, Joyce, and Angela. Good morning. Hope you guys have some great plans for the weekend. And Dan should be with us in just a moment. So do any of you guys already have the cancer exercise specialist or functional aging specialist certification? Just curious. Maria, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Just, again, waiting on Dan to jump on here. I guess I was too excited. No plans? I don't really have plans. I was wanting to go do something at the water, but too many things nagging at me at home. Good morning. Good morning, Angela. Have any of you guys already signed up for the course that's starting on Monday? I'm just trying to get a feel. No pressure. Just seeing who's doing what. Yay. Woohoo. All right. Ooh, Bermuda. I want to be there. Is it hurricane season yet? Okay, Dan, where are you? Yeah, Angela, just keep in mind, everything's going to be recorded, and we're actually going to be throwing in some extra bonus webinars also, and we'll be, doing some things at night for you guys. Here's the man. Look at you, all handsome this morning.
Well, it's already afternoon here, so I've already had my nap for the day.
Oh, look at me, how beautiful I am. Early time of the day.
Is it 10:30 where you are?
Yes, 10:30. I had to think about it because I'm not really sure where I'm at most of the
time. I was going to say I wasn't sure if you were in Colorado at the moment, which would be 11:30. So Hood
Hood in the background on the wall here. I'm in Oregon.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. So got a couple people on here this morning that are already registered, Dan, and
great.
I was just asking who has what so far. So Joyce was sharing she's already got FAS. We've got everybody's typing too fast right now. Angela's working out her schedule. Eve's letting us know that she's in Bermuda, so we should be jealous about that. But yeah, so you guys, this is your opportunity. You can ask us questions about the webinars that we've done. You can ask us what the weather's like in Portland, or where are you, Dan?
I'm in West Lafayette, Indiana, and it is beautiful today. We finally had a break in the heat, so I think the high today is 80, and it's sunny, and it's not humid. It's perfect. So I've already been outside, and I'll be out again this afternoon.
Yeah.
Sharon, you're in the Middle East. Can you tell us where in the Middle East? If you can't tell us, that's fine. But she says she's from South Africa, but now in the Middle East. So I've been to the Middle East a couple of times, and actually Israel's been taking off for us this year, so that's exciting.
Yeah, we launched in Jordan, and I was out there in March right before everything got
right before you couldn't be anywhere.
Exactly. So very, very exciting. Yeah.
Bahrain. All right, cool.
Colleague in Jordan, and they were on lockdown yesterday. So it's interesting because they do it based on the number of cases, and I guess in any given week, and then they'll pick a day of the week that they're on lockdown. So everybody's got different ways of coping with this.
All right. Well, what questions do y'all have?
So Sharon, just talking about, I'm just going to jump in on what she just said about adapting to culture. So having been out there in Jordan and working with people from Pakistan and those that lived in Jordan, and I think we had a couple people from Egypt as well. You know, I don't know it's so much about culture. I'm sure there's some of that in there, but it's more that this is new to the forefront. You know, maybe kind of like what we were talking about, Dan, in terms of certifications. You know, you have X, Y, and Z personal trainer certification, but then you have these other specialty certifications that separate you from the hundreds of thousands of fitness professionals out there. So I think when we're getting into this kind of medical fitness, it may take a little longer in some of these countries because it's new, but you get the backing of FAI and CETI. So we're kind of all riding each other's shirt tails, building this, or bridging the gap, I guess is the best and most cliche way of saying it.
Yeah. You know, we've taken FAI to 21 countries now, I believe. And, you know, I usually tell people aging crosses all cultures, and the ability to want to function well crosses all cultures, and exercise movements cross all cultures. There certainly are language barriers for how we teach it and some of those sorts of things, and the way, you know, South Korea approaches it and the way Spain approaches it and some of these different things. Well, in a lot of cases, you're going to take it to that culture in that country, but you need to take the concepts and then how does that apply? And I've seen in some countries, some of them are going to have to start to think about shifting some of their cultural norms, right? I mean, a cultural norm of, well, we don't expect people over 65 to do anything, is not going to be a cultural norm that you're going to want to accept. In fact, you might need to fight that a little bit. In fact, the United Kingdom, the first time Cody went to London, he talked quite a bit about ageism in the fitness industry and ageism in the fitness culture. And several of the trainers said, oh yeah, the United Kingdom rates the highest in Europe for ageism. I mean, we are ageist as a nation. We expect people to retire at a certain age and not be productive. And, you know, just sort of this cultural aspect of to be old is to be irrelevant. And so some of that you're going to have to, you know, speak fiercely against in your culture. And say, hey, there's a different way to look at growing old. And we believe people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s can be amazing, can be healthy, can be fit. They don't have to be a burden. They don't have to be negative. They don't have to just sit in the corner. And that's going to be different from country to country. I mean, some places are much more readily accepting of this concept, right? And it's sort of like, you know, you go to Greece and some of these other places and it's like, well, yeah, we expect everyone to live into their 80s and 90s and do it really well. And
but it's respect for their elders. I mean, same thing with in Asia. I mean, they
take
care of their elders. You know, my mom likes to tell me all the time about, you know, other countries and how they respect their elders and why isn't it this way in the United States? And it depends. It's individual. It's family to family. But this is also, you know, one of the ways that you can approach this is from prevention. Now, we can't prevent getting old. Believe me, I wish we could. But we can prevent many of the diseases and the ailments, you know, all of the comorbidities. You know, I'm focused just in this little box of cancer. But along with cancer, you have comorbidities associated with the treatments. All of these can be prevented or entirely avoided with the introduction of a structured exercise program. And no matter where you are and what culture it is, it's just trying to figure out the path to getting to those people who are either the decision makers or the news makers, or people who aren't afraid to stand up for what they believe in. And that's a big one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's going to look different. I mean, I know some cultures, even men and women exercising together is a cultural no-no. And so how that looks. And I know a trainer who moved to Japan and she was shocked to find out the culture of women don't lift weights and women aren't in the weight room. That's where the men are, you know, and there's a cultural difference. And so you're going to have to certainly be aware of that. And some of those things I have to learn too. I mean, we have to learn, but how you apply the principles of, you know, cancer exercise training, functional aging training, obviously might look different from one country to another, but the concepts are still the same, and people need the help regardless of what country you're in. So what other questions? We're up to 28 people here live. This is your time to ask questions. David asks, what's the process for the brain health trainer certification? That's probably a separate conversation for a separate day, but the brain health trainer certification is one of our programs at FAI. It's separate from what Andrea and I are talking about, but it's an online course. It's 10 hours of CECs, CEUs, and really dives deep into the cognitive fitness side of things, cognitive health, working with people with cognitive impairment, those sorts of things, and giving you tools for that. So again, an online course, videos, manuals, a lot of interactive. Ryan, who created that for us, really kind of geeked out on the tech side of things you can do in online learning these days. So there's a lot of interactive visuals and graphic displays and scroll over forms. So it's not just reading and videos, but a really cool course. So.
Yeah, Ryan's awesome.
Anonymous attendee is in New Jersey. So that's, there's always an anonymous attendee. I'm in New Jersey. Hello, anonymous attendee in New Jersey.
Well, Brenda's bringing up something we talked about yesterday, which is, things being shut down and whatever you want to call them, old age homes, senior living facilities, not allowing guests. These people don't have Zooms. They don't have phones. How do you overcome that obstacle? That's a tough one. And I don't think there's any perfect answer. Do you, Dan? I mean, when you can't contact people, what do you do? Go stand out on the street? And I mean, you could, but that's,
yeah, I mean, that's really tough. I mean, I can come up with some scenarios where it's almost impossible to help people, especially if they're not, and willing is not always the fair thing, right? So it's not fair for us to just say, well, if they're not willing to do technology, in some cases they don't have access to it. If they're in a retirement community or a nursing home and they don't have access to internet or certain capabilities, or they even don't have the funds to purchase an iPad or a smartphone. Some of it is just purely willingness, right? I mean, I know some people in their 80s and 90s just refuse to adopt technology. So then that's sort of on us to be a little bit creative. But right now with COVID, it's sort of hard to be creative if we can't go to them and they can't come to us, and there's no allowance for a physical space and they refuse to do technology. That's a challenge. And I'm not really sure how to bridge that one if people aren't willing to do some sort of video. Now, couple of things that we've done, I mean, you can go super old school, right? I mean, I have a book that's 60 pages, and in this book, there are 10 workouts, literally with pictures, right? I mean, like, it shows you, tells you the exercises, shows you the exercises. So if someone has no access to technology, you could mail them, I mean, literally old school, mail them what you want them to do, right? Write it out, take some pictures, print some pictures. You could do that. And some people will follow that, right? They'll read the book, they'll read the material. That's the way they want to be communicated to. So that's probably your last resort if they refuse to use technology. Literally deliver them or mail them something, a packet of things to do. Yeah, you could stick figure it.
I mean, but you know what? They have a phone. And I mean, even if obviously it's not ideal, but even coaching them on the phone and encouraging them to sit and stand or march in place or whatever it is. I mean, think about a few functional activities. And what I would do, particularly if I had a family member in a home or in a living facility, I would go to management and I would demand integration, because, to have those people completely isolated. Barb Pide was just writing that in some facilities, they're getting iPads for the people living there. So, I don't care if it's doing a group exercise via Zoom through the home, in the social room or wherever it is. They should be doing that for the benefit of the people who are there. And believe me, they're paying big money to have their parents or their grandparents or whoever in these facilities. So that's the least that they could do.
Big money. Yeah. There's no doubt. Big money to be in these facilities. Some cases, thousands of dollars a month. I mean, I'll share a resource right now. If you could give me screen sharing, Andrea, please.
Yeah. And also there's a bunch of questions that I was trying to get to, and some I think you can answer better because it's about brain health. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see, where do I go? To you as a participant?
Yeah, I totally agree, Brenda, that some don't have access, some are intimidated, they don't understand Zoom. They don't even want to do it, right? Even if they could figure it out, which they probably could. Look, if I can figure out Zoom, probably anybody could. So here's a resource that we've been using for some of these clients, and you're welcome to use this. I'll put this in the chat. So in fact, if you Google Big Book of Exercise Movements, I'm pretty sure it'll come up. So this is something we give away all the time. That sort of satisfies that. Well, can you just send me pictures of the exercises, right? And we get that, right? Some of our clients are like, could you just send me the pictures? So free book. I think I've skipped the sign up page. You can go right to the download page. I'll put these links in the chat. So when you go to the download page, let's see if it will load up. There's like 300 pictures of exercises. Now here's the challenge, right? People are like, well, they're not going to get on the internet. So print off the 5 exercises you want them to do on Monday. Print off. You literally can scroll through. One of the things I am proud about is that we have fitness models in here. Jesse's in her 80s, Megan's in her 30s, Dawn's in her 40s. Let's see, we've got Sue is in her 50s, and Lance is in here somewhere in his 70s. So we've got just about every decade represented, and we've got just about every kind of exercise, from marching in place to squats to step ups to, I mean, you name it. There's hundreds and hundreds of things pictured here. And oh, by the way, there's a bunch of written out workouts in here as well. So free resource to you. Feel free to print off the 5 exercises you want your client to do, mail it to them. And then it's probably on you to call them, you know, once a week and say, hey, Joyce, did you do a workout, you know, 1, 2, and 3, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? So we can go old school on this stuff. We don't have to rely just on technology. And I will share this in the chat so everybody's got it.
Yeah, Brenda asked for the live training over the next month. Approximately what day will the recordings be made available? I just wrote, usually it takes about an hour for the recording to upload, and then it'll go right into the next group. So everything is coming down, Dan. So tomorrow night at 11:59, I think Eastern time, this coupon code is no longer viable, and all of the recordings that are on the Kickstart page are gone. So if you want anything, you want to save it now, download it, do whatever you need to do, it will be unavailable after that point.
Are we live in the Facebook group right now?
You know what? I don't think we are. I guess I that's my bad. I didn't.
No worries, no worries. We can always post the recording later.
Yeah, no, I've been posting. So in the group that we're in now, the Kickstart, everything is posted under units each day. So if you look, you'll see the recordings for each day, and you'll also see some little pop quiz type things. Some people are participating, not too many. But anyway, it'll be the same kind of a format when we go into the university setting over the next couple of weeks. And each day there'll be a recording. And in fact, today, when Dan and I are done with this webinar, we're gonna regroup, and we'll make sure the schedule is also listed so you guys can see this day Dan's doing this day Andrea's doing that. We'll have some bonus. You talked yesterday about Diane Bailey doing a couple sessions, and I think we're gonna throw some extra ones in the evening for those of you who can't during the day. Yep.
Yeah, Diane Bailey is gonna do 2 bonus webinars for everyone, just because people are getting the Tai Chi. So yeah. to kind of walk you through that, explain Tai Chi, hold your hand through that. John is asking, can you do the brain health trainer instead of the Tai Chi? Here comes the let's make a deal. Hey, sure, we can totally do that. Just I think we have done that for somebody already, Andrea, but the brain health trainer course is $5.99, so we can't do it at the same price of $7.99. The Tai Chi is a $1.99 certification, and we're giving that in as a bonus. So we can take out the Tai Chi, put in the brain health trainer, but it's a slightly higher fee for you. So if you reach out to Andrea at the Cancer Institute,
Andrea at thecancerspecialist.com, and we just have our guy fielding.
No offense to Tai Chi taken, John, no problem, I get it. So I mean, not everyone is the Tai Chi bonus applicable for, so but yeah, reach out directly and we can set that up.
So here's a question, you guys. If for those of you that are like, oh yeah, I really want to do it, But what are your buts? How can we help you overcome some of your concerns? Because there may be something that just is like a no-brainer to help you get through this. Also, if there were any bonus sessions added, what would you like to see? You know, if we can throw in a couple extra sessions, what do you want to know more about? You want to know more about marketing? You want to know more about building your business? Let us know. Let's talk. You got our attention.
Yeah, Sharon's asking, will we be able to reach out to stroke patients? Absolutely, absolutely. So the functional aging specialist and Tai Chi for sure really helps you reach out to all sorts of medical populations, diabetes, stroke, you know, cancer, of course, you're going to have all the expertise you need to reach out to those folks. But I mean, there's so many other conditions, Parkinson's, MS, there's so many other functional debilitating conditions that this education is going to really help you be a step above and be more confident reaching out for medical referrals, talking to physicians, having credentials behind you so you feel confident working with people recovering from debilitating you know, conditions. So a lot of things overlap. I would say someone recovering from a stroke has a lot of similar deficits that someone recovering from cancer or, you know, triple bypass. I mean, there are basic functional things that get impacted when we go through a major health crisis. So for sure, you're gonna be able to reach out to more people. So
let me jump in real quick and answer this question from Joyce. And Joyce, I may need a little more information from you. So Joyce is asking about, I had commented on a concierge service for cancer patients, which of course can apply to anybody, by the way, and how needed of a service this is indeed. So how is an exercise program integrated into, I'm assuming, cancer exercise specialist? I understand that the type of exercise depends on the client's health status. So let me try and answer that as best as I can. And Dan, I think this will segue also into what people are going to get out of the functional aging course. So we are going to start off, we're going to go through, we cover 27 types of cancer. I'm going to start off going through the surgeries, and we're going to talk about the direction of incision, healing time, whether or not muscles were removed, you know, whether there was an amputation. This is like a mathematical equation, because then we're going to add the treatments and whether there are acute and or chronic side effects. And remember, these can stack up because people are going through chemo and radiation and hormonal therapy. So now we've got A plus B. Then we add whether or not they're at risk for lymphedema and incorporating appropriate lymph drainage exercises. So A, B, C. Then we take their health history and their physical assessment, which we will also do as part of the training, goniometric measurements, postural assessments, squat tests, the whole shebang. We take all of that information, and only then, in understanding each of those components, can you safely, effectively, and confidently develop an exercise program for each individual cancer patient. So you really have to understand how complex each and every type of cancer is, because there is no cookie cutter workout. So by the time you are done, and not necessarily in 4 weeks or 5 weeks, but when you feel you've had adequate time going through the learning management system, the modules, all of that, you're ready to take the exam. We are also going to help you with some structure in terms of building your business, bridging that gap, being on directories. So really, we're taking you all the way through to the other end. And Dan, what can people expect, you know, at the end of the functional aging training?
Well, I think the biggest thing that people realize from our course is they can start, in fact, far before they even finish it, they can start putting some of these tools and tactics into place with their clients tomorrow. And so people realize, oh, this strategy I can use with my client next week. We're going to give you functional aging training tactics, tips, exercise movements, assessment tools that you'll start putting into place and trying out on your clients before you're even finished and certified. And we encourage you to do that. Start trying some of these things on your clients and see how they impact them. Mm-hmm. By the end of the course, you're going to have what we consider a better theoretical model for how you train your clients. Somebody's asking, well, does this apply to water? And other people ask us, well, does this apply to Pilates? And does this apply to yoga? And does this apply? It applies to all the disciplines when we think about how do we want to train someone. And we start to think about the functional aging training model, I'll show you a picture from the free book that we've given you guys. It's really about the 6 domains of training. And so it doesn't matter what modality you're using, right? And so, I mean, here's the image, right? We have 6 different areas of function. So I don't care if you're doing that in the water, on land, you know, flying through the air and on these streamers that people use. I don't even know what those things are called. Silks, I guess, aerial stuff. I mean, there's so many different ways, but now you have a model for, okay, I need to be training somebody's brain. I need to be training somebody's neuromuscular function. I need to train their balance, their mobility, their cardiovascular, their strength. So it also might make you realize if I'm doing my training in the water, right, aqua, there might be some things I can't do that I have to encourage them to do on land. If I'm doing all my training on land, there might be some things I need to encourage them to do a different way. So yeah, you can apply the concepts. For us, we really feel like the functional aging specialist then is foundational, because then you can apply so many more things to that, right? When someone has a deficit, or they have a cancer diagnosis, or they're diabetic, or they need to lose 50 pounds or whatever it is, I'm still looking at it through this framework of, okay, but they're a human and they have to function, and they have to function in all 3 planes. They have to be able to get in and out of their car and do all these things. And so it just lays the groundwork for then all the other education you're going to add to it. So a lot of trainers, I think for the first time, it's sort of an aha, like, oh, this is why I train balance this way, right? You start to realize like it's a foundational principle. It gives you a concept to then build all of your programming on. So we're not going to design your exercise programs for you. We're going to give you the science behind how you then design everything you do moving forward. So
that's a big point, because we're not teaching you how to exercise. You know, you're coming to the table with hopefully some education at a degree. And in our training, one of the things I focus on, particularly with amputations and radiation, we have a lot of limited range of motion, shoulder range of motion. We've got swelling from lymphedema that can also affect range of motion in the lower or upper extremities. And so it's really understanding, like Dan said, planes of motion, multiplanar exercises, as well as, you know, specific to flexion, extension, abduction. And when you understand the principle of what it is you're trying to accomplish, whether it be correcting a muscle imbalances or regaining range of motion, I can take a warrior 1, or I could do, you know, an overhead raise with or without weights, but understanding when to add resistance, when to hold a pose, because you have to have a certain amount of range of motion. So we get into all of these principles. And even though I'm the one that may be teaching it in the cancer exercise course, it's absolutely applicable to every single human being, even if it's a 15-year-old athlete. It goes across the board. And I think that the information you're going to learn in both of these courses will absolutely make you a better trainer, a better yoga instructor, a better Pilates instructor, or somebody had asked about, I think it was a physical therapy assistant. How will this help them be a better physical therapy assistant? Do you want to take a stab at that?
Well, it's just going to be more education and more concepts for how you approach how you deal with all your clients, your patients. And so as you get more of a robust training model, I mean, I've been training clients now for 23 years. And along the way, you start to develop, well, what's my framework? What's my model when a new person comes in? What are the things I know that are foundational I need to do with them? And so both of these 2 courses are going to give you greater concepts, greater confidence in that you're doing the right things. I always say in the end, because people say, well, what's the perfect exercise? Well, I have no idea, because it really depends on the client in front of you and their deficits and their needs. There isn't a perfect exercise session or routine or formula, because every person's different. The perfect exercise for me might not be the perfect exercise for Andrea. For the next person, it might be too easy. For the next person, it might be too dangerous, right? So you need to have a concept and a model that you know very quickly is going to work and work well as people come in. And so for a physical therapy assistant, and we've seen physical therapists go through our programs, PTAs for sure, chiropractors, it just gives them another concept and model for how they approach, especially the older adult market. Seeing a couple different questions about my books, Andrea, which is great. I'm happy to give you guys all of our books. So we do have some online things that you can purchase. That's fine too. I'm certainly not going to dissuade you, but this book here, we've offered you the ebook all week for free. It's in the Facebook group, fasmarketingbook.com. You can get the PDF literally in the next hour. If you want the book shipped to you, this one I don't ship out for free. Getboomerclients.com. It's like $7 to ship. This one, Never Grow Old. This is my marketing book to my local market. Somebody wants to come train with me. Happy to ship this one to you for free. Email us, contact@Functional Aging Institute. Say, hey, I want a copy of Dan's Never Grow Old book. We will drop that in the mail out to you as a free gift. It costs us about $3 to ship it. No big deal. I don't have an auto shipping set up for this, so I have to do these literally one by one. Thankfully, I'm not doing them. Megan on my staff takes care of them. She goes to the post office once a week, ships out these books. These books are really marketing tools. So once you read this book, you're going to want to come train with me at Miracles Fitness. So fair warning, you know, if I ship this to you all the way around the world. So, happy to ship that to you. Both of these are primarily U.S. shipping. So if you're outside the United States, we'll have to work out something to ship it to you at probably a different fee. A couple of you found the Never Grow Old Fitness program, which is on functionalfitnesssolution.com. Feel free to purchase that if you want. It's $20 for a whole bunch of online workouts, video workouts. It's not actually this book. It's a form of this book in an ebook format. But some people like that, Andrea, especially as they're like, how on earth do I do this virtual online training? Well, we've got 12 or 13 online workouts on functionalfitnesssolution.com. It's $20. And there's a manual version of this book. This book, keep in mind, is a marketing tool. Right. This is nothing more than my business card or brochure. It's great to give to doctors for them to give it away. It's a 60-page book that basically tells you why you need a functional aging specialist. So just keep that in mind. This book is not necessarily your workout tool. So
we have the same ones. We have one on not the same ones. We have one on lymphedema. We have one on cancer in general. We have one on breast cancer, and you get to customize the books. They're not free. When you know what Dan's talking about, when we customize it for you, these are your marketing tools. But you guys, many of you are asking about, okay, great. So we get the certificates, certifications, whatever. How do we build our business? There's lots of free information, and then there's lots that you can do. You can get in Dan's mastermind. You can get in CETI's mastermind. You can get one-on-one coaching with me. I don't know if you offer that, Dan.
We do. Yep, we do.
Have a price tag, but then as part of the course, I absolutely spend time talking about how do you build these relationships with medical professionals? How do you get referrals? And we have our Facebook group for cancer exercise specialists that this is like your permanent home where you can talk, amongst each other. We've got doctors, nurses, PTs, OTs, yoga, Pilates, personal trainers sharing ideas. And I'm sure you have something similar, Dan.
Yeah, we do. We have business coaching. We have licensed business models if you want done for you stuff. I tell people, look, we'll ship you this book for $7. The book's free. We just ship it out to you. If you notice the title, How to Get 50+ Boomer Fitness Clients, it's a play on words there, right? But it's how to get 50 clients fast. And we're going to give you all our best marketing strategies right in this book. So you don't have to hire us as a coach if you don't want to. We're literally going to give you all those strategies. Barb's asking a great question. You mentioned planes of motion. Would anatomy and physiology or planes of motion be the better concept to further study? Well, if you're not well versed on three-dimensional human movement, the sagittal, frontal, and transverse plane, that might be some further study after our courses. We certainly talk about it in the functional aging specialist, but there's also an expectation that what sagittal plane movements are, and like that certain movements are sagittal plane, certain movements are transverse plane, and certain movements are frontal plane, and learning how to change those and tweak those as well. So that certainly could be some further study.
Barb has the CES, and I believe it is in Module 3 when we get into the actual assessments. Not only do we talk about the different planes of motion, but give examples of exercises in each plane of motion. And just to get back to the point of yoga, Pilates, aquatics, in these examples, we'll give a yoga pose that takes place in the sagittal plane, or we'll give a Pilates exercise that takes place in XYZ plane. So we're not giving you everything. There's a point where you have to do your own thinking, but we give you all the tools to hone in on the skills and then apply it to your own modality, whether that be TRX or piloxing. I mean, Zumba, I don't care. You can customize any type of exercise for a specific population.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Angela says, teaching Tai Chi has helped me in remarkable ways to open doors to all sorts of, to help people with specific issues to their unique situation. Yeah, for sure. Tai Chi is great. Tai Chi is often overlooked as just a great blood pressure management and stress reduction tool, which, oh my goodness, people need right now. It's been documented in the research literature for over 20 years now for balance, for sure. But it has so many other great applications, stress reduction and just body control, mind body awareness, those sorts of things, which of course change with age. So,
and I think I just responded to you by accident instead of Kevin. You know, Kevin is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Mauritius. And to be honest, I don't even know where that is, Kevin. So if you could help this geographically person, but I know, you know, it's always so exciting to me to be able to take this training to places that don't have it and to open up in new countries. So, you know, I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to help there. And Dan, I would imagine nothing less from you.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a couple people asking about sort of the concept of, you know, the business need. You know, Neil's saying the functional agent credential is a key interest and on the verge of launching a business focused on the boomer clientele. Look, the next 3 weeks, our primary goal is going to be to help people get through the functional aging specialist and cancer exercise specialist so you have those credentials. We will cover some marketing information, but that's not our primary focus. Our primary focus is to get you through the content so you can get certified, get that credential. And I always tell people that's just the starting point. So the cancer exercise specialist does not magically make clients rain from the sky, neither does the functional aging specialist. So you do need to learn some marketing tactics. You need to know how to position that credential. And we have a lot of options, and anyone that participates in this, I'm going to point you to about 5 or 6 different free webinars we have on building your list, identifying your ideal client, you know, jump-starting your business. I mean, just this week I did 2 sessions on secrets to successful studio owners and marketing tactics for reaching boomers and seniors, and you certainly have access to those. So it doesn't do us any good to just get you certified. We want you to obviously be successful in the industry as well. So we're going to be here to support that. And we have ongoing support. If people want, you know, one-off business coaching, we do that. If you want year-long mastermind mentorship, we have that as well. If you want done-for-you business plans, we have that at the Functional Aging Institute as well. So there's a lot of different options. But typically, if somebody wants to jump into that, I usually say you need to start by being a functional aging specialist. You need to start by being certified. You need to have the credentials in your team, on your staff. So that's just sort of a starting point. So Mauritius is off in the Indian Ocean somewhere off the coast of Africa. All right, we're all learning our geography here.
Yeah, we actually, I have one of our advisory board doctors is in Zimbabwe, which is not Mauritius. I get that. But we are going in the direction of that part of the world. I'm just not really awesome at geography.
What time is it? What time is it where you are, Kevin? It must be like midnight, I'm guessing. So 12:30 in the morning there.
Okay, so now Kevin, you talk.
Not quite.
I get to teach you something now. What else? So Sharon is asking, could we represent your courses in Middle East? I don't know who she's directing it to, and that's kind of a loaded question, Sharon. So I would say you can reach out to me at andrea@thecancerspecialist.com. And Dan, where could she email you?
Yeah, contact@functionalaginginstitute.com, contact@functionalaginginstitute.com. I guess it depends what you mean by represent. Obviously, you can get certified and be you know, the local expert in your market. If you're talking about hosting workshops and distributing our course and those sorts of things in your country, then that's probably a greater a
Yeah.
greater in-depth conversation you need to have with each of us. For example, we have a representative in Israel on the ground that's distributing our courses there. Some countries we have no one, and so we're always looking for partners. So kind of depends on what she meant with that.
I think, you know, certain geographical areas are, at least with CETI, they're exclusive, but there is still open territory. So reach out to us, and we're happy to discuss that with you.
Sharon, awesome. It's 2100 there. You're up late. That's great. Catherine, quick question. How long are the daily sessions? 1 to 2 hours. So most of my sessions, Catherine, will be 1 hour. And the only reason they'll go over is because you all have lots of questions, and I will stick around to answer those. But for the most part, we'll be going 1:30 to 2:30 Eastern, pretty strictly on that. I feel like people get a little bit of Zoom fatigue once we go longer than an hour. Anyway, so
exercises while you're learning.
So, are most of your sessions going to be about an hour, Andrew?
Yes, exactly. And if people have more questions, happy to stay on. I mean, it's a ton. So there's no way to cover everything. We're not going to go through the book page by page type thing. We're going to cover principles. And then absolutely, you know, as far as my end goes, if we get to the end of the, you know, whatever it is, 4 or 5 weeks, and you guys feel, God, I really need more help with lymphedema, or I really need more help with exercise programming, then by all means, happy to do that. You know, I don't want to turn out anybody who is not ready. You know, I don't want to sick you on the cancer world, so to speak, ill prepared. And also in terms of, Dan, you had mentioned something earlier about, you know, getting client referrals and all this. It doesn't do us any good if you guys get this certification or these certifications and you are not out there helping people. So I feel that I can speak for both of us saying we have a vested interest in your success, because ultimately that's the success of all the aging population and the cancer patients who need your help.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we got a couple of questions, so I'm gonna share screen again here just so people have the full details on the offer. And somebody's asking about, you know, people are asking how long the sessions. I think Marsha's asking about once a week.
Monday, Thursday.
They're quite a bit more than once a week. We're offering more than that. So basically for the next 3 weeks, can you see my screen, Andrea? So basically for the next 3 weeks, from starting Monday, so in 2 days through September 21st, we're going to take you through 4 sessions a week, 1:30 Eastern. We will plan a few evening sessions if needed, you know, if there's enough people interested in that. So our goal is over 3 weeks to lead you up to the point where you feel like, okay, if you do your homework, you do your reading, you plug in, you can probably start taking the exam. So like Andrea said, I'm not going to read you our 180-page manual. Like, that would be just brutal for all of us. So I'm expecting you to be reading the modules and materials in the functional aging specialist program. But as I walk you through the workshops, I'm going to be taking you through some of the videos. We're going to do some of the fitness assessments together. They're all in the videos. So I'm going to be walking you through the content. I'll do some lectures that kind of give a broad overview of the reading material. Sort of the Cliff Notes version, right? But I still expect you to do the reading, you know, so I'm not going to read you the manual. That would be brutal for all of us. But but let's just take a quick look. I have the schedule here because somebody was asking. So let me stop this share. And,
okay, cool. I couldn't find yours. I'm obviously looking in the wrong place.
Yeah, so you'll see that mine's filled in and Andrea's not. So maybe you have a different. Maybe you have a different spreadsheet. But so, you know, starting on Monday, August 31st, Andrea is going to kick us off at 1:30 Eastern, and I don't know what your topic is, Andrea. I'm sure it's something cancer exercise related.
Yeah, I think we start off with cancer surgeries, and then I'll fill in as you go along here. So
on Tuesday, I'm doing the functional aging training model. That's kind of our foundational beginning. On Wednesday, I'm doing functional strategies, tactics, and techniques. Okay. And then Thursday, Andrea, you wrap up the week. What are you doing on Thursday?
I may be getting this out of order because I'm not looking at my spreadsheet, but I think the next one I go to breast surgery, breast reconstruction, exercise programming. And then I believe that the next one I go into is lymphedema, identification, prevention, and management.
Yeah, and we come back because it's Labor Day week. We're not doing anything on Monday, so we're just doing 3 sessions that week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm doing functional fitness assessments, 30-second chair stand, 8 foot up and go. We'll do a bunch live together. And then Andrea, you've got September 10th. I've got the 14th. And we basically go all the way through the 21st.
Right.
And then we're going to do a couple of bonus sessions for some Q&A, exam prep, like I'm lost in the course and can you help me with this term, and all those sorts of things. So, and we'll have a few extra bonus sessions in the evening as well. So we're literally walking you through the courses. So it's a lot more than just one session a week. It's going to be 3 or 4 a week.
And they will be recorded.
All be recorded, because I know some people are like, well, what if I can't be on live? Like, don't rearrange your whole business and clients. You can watch it later that night. We're going to record the thing. And, you know, one of the tips I will give people, Andrea, is because that's a lot. Like, that's a whole bunch of bonus content. We're giving people 15 hours on top of take the courses.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about watching the recording is you can get a player that will play us at the speed of 1.5. So you can speed us up. You can get through a whole lot quicker if you want. So, so that's just one tip. So quite a bit of stuff there. I hope that answers that one question from Marcia. Lots and lots and lots to cover there. So, and it really is, it's kind of a ridiculous bonus that we're throwing that in on top of already discounting the courses. So I'm not sure what Andrea has talked me into giving away here, but it's going to work. It's going to work out.
Greg talked us both into it. It's all good. It's all good. But no, I mean, I mean, it's really, really important that there are more resources to this ever and rapidly growing group of the aging population. And then keep in mind, so while we know that 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3 of the baby boomers, of the Gen Xers are going to get cancer at some time in their life, that, you know, when I'm talking cancer, it goes from the day you're born to the day you take your last breath. So, you know, the market is beyond just the aging market when it comes to cancer, but there's absolutely a tremendous amount of overlap.
Yeah, for sure. Again, the website is just ceti.teachable.com. I don't think you need the www. Don't need that at all. Pauline, give me a little more clarification. She says Zoom crashed on her. Can I get the email to ask for the old school workbook, please? If you're asking for me to just mail you this copy of this book, you can email us at contact@functionalaginginstitute.com. If you're asking something else, please give me a little more information to work on there. Any other questions, folks? I mean, it's a super deal. I know some people have asked Andrea, well, I'm doing so many other courses. Can I get this in the future? Look, Andrea and I will probably offer this again sometime in the future. I can't guarantee you when. You know, if I told you we were offering this again in October, you'd all just wait till then. So we're not offering it again like in 3 weeks. So here's the other thing too is you have 6 months to complete our courses. So if you're saying to yourself right now, well, shoot, I just bought a course in August, I got to get done. You can start these in October and you get all the recordings, August 31st through September 21st. So if you're feeling like, oh my goodness, I can't take in 4 sessions every week, well, just take in 1 or 2 a week and watch the recordings. And then you can start the courses in October and plug your way through them. So I usually tell people it takes people about 2 to 3 weeks of focused work to get our course done. Now, you can spread that out if you want over 2 to 3 months, but typically you're going to find it takes 2 to 3 weeks. And I think Andrea's is going to be about the same. You're not going to baby step your way through our courses like 1 hour a week for 50 weeks. It doesn't work that way. Like anything, you kind of have to dive in for a chunk of time, get it done. So don't feel like you have to miss out on the deal and hope that we offer it again in January. You know, we probably will offer it again someday, but I can't guarantee that we'll offer the 3 weeks of live training.
Or this price.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. We probably won't offer this price because it's not this price. Just so everybody realizes, it's $350 off of this price. So when you go to ceti.teachable.com, you notice the $11.49 magically drops to $7.99.
Yep.
Well, the functional aging specialist is $3.99 alone. The cancer exercise specialist is $5.99. The Tai Chi is $1.99. If you just decide in 3 weeks to buy the cancer exercise specialist and the FAS, you're gonna spend more anyway. So so just keep that in mind. Pauline, it's contact@functionalaginginstitute.com. Make sure you get the institute. So thank you. Feel free to reach out to us there.
Yay, Pam. Woohoo! And yeah, we just got Pam, and then Elizabeth Borzelli also just registered. Super excited if you're on this webinar right now. Yay, we're glad to have you. Okay, so Dan, it doesn't look like anybody has, okay, wait. Will the live sessions get us the certification at the end? Yeah, Barb, once you pass the exam, right?
Yeah, I mean, the live sessions aren't going to get you the certification. They're going to help you get past the exam. You still have to pass the exam. You still have to, that's the part where I said, I'm not going to read the manual to you. There's still an expectation that you're going to do the reading and the homework. So it's sort of like you get to show up to class, and then if you do your work, take the exam, you get certified. We're going to walk you through it. The big difference here is you could buy both our courses, get a great combo, and then good luck, you're on your own, Barb. Now we're actually going to be walking through the course material with you for 3 weeks. So it's a orchestrated course activity. So you're working along.
Together got a question about what's your favorite exercise for cancer patients. And I said, oh boy, that's a loaded question. There is no, like, asking what a favorite exercise is for cancer patients. So I don't even know how to approach that, because you need to know so much information, guys. Barb Pibe will testify to this, I am sure, because she's been in our program, for years. And you can't possibly choose an exercise for a cancer patient without knowing their complete health history, what surgeries they had, the date they had them, what treatments they had, the date they completed it, what the acute and chronic side effects are, whether or not they had lymph nodes removed or irradiated. So if you are working with cancer patients or any other really special population without appropriate training, not only are you putting your clients at risk, you're putting yourself at risk.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say even the same for completely non-cancer related, just the average 60-year-old.
No, absolutely.
There's not just one magical exercise, because I mean, we always say one exercise might be perfectly appropriate for one client's goals and perfectly inappropriate for the next client's goals. It's what's safe for one client might be dangerous for another. What's appropriate for one client's goals might be completely inappropriate for another. And so we have to make sure we know how to prescribe the right exercises to the right client. I mean, some of your cancer patients, Andrea, are going to have major abdominal surgeries, right? And they're going to have completely different issues.
Rectus abdominis.
Yeah, completely different issues than another cancer patient who's had no surgery. So,
absolutely. And if you guys don't understand what a lat flap is, or what an abdominal tram is, or that during a radical neck dissection, they remove the sternocleidoid mastoid muscle and internal jugular vein, and how that affects the lymphatic system. I mean, it is so comprehensive, and I don't want to scare you out of it. I want to scare you out of training people without appropriate education. And I want you to be the best that you can possibly be for yourself and for your clients.
Yeah, for sure. Any other questions?
We're talking as quick as you guys can type here.
Yeah, a lot of people stuck around and asked questions on a Saturday afternoon or middle of the night, depending on where you are in the world. So
we both have this purpley, look, and, it's visibly appealing. So sticking around just to be here. All right, so I'm getting stupid now. All right, guys. Well, I would say if you don't have any more questions, I mean, you have our contact information. You can always reach out to us with more questions. Remember, you have until 11:59 Sunday night, and that is East Coast time. So for those of you who are anywhere else in the world, I would just get signed up today, so you can take advantage of that immense savings, which is, I think, close to 50% off. And probably even better when you consider everything else that we are throwing in. Nina, as far as cancer exercise specialists in Honolulu, I did a workshop there. Gosh, it's been probably close to 12, 13 years ago. And there may be one or two, I think, Sherry, there's a girl named Sherry, but my God, that's one person. Granted, it is not New York City, but there is no shortage of people with cancer anywhere in the world, let alone people who are aging. And all you have to do is be better and different and get your name out there more than they do, period.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's any shortage of aging clients. There's no shortage of cancer clients. So if you're thinking you need to be the only cancer exercise specialist in your market, that's probably not the case.
And I'm down with a lot.
There's more people than you can possibly take care of.
Yeah, I would definitely be open to a live workshop in Hawaii when things open up again. You know, if I have to choose something.
If you have to. Such a burden, I swear. You're always taking on these hardships.
I even went out to Waikiki and got on a surfboard, which I may never do again. Okay?
We had a workshop set up for Hawaii, and Cody was going to take his wife. He's been wanting to go. Hawaii's not been on my list, but not that I wouldn't go, but it got rescheduled or something, and then I think they were going to try to do it this spring, and then of course that didn't happen. So yeah, Cody would be more than willing to head to Hawaii to do a workshop. So and we have quite a few functional aging specialists in Hawaii. So
I'm typing in on my email address again, Dan, if you want to type in yours.
Sure.
People can reach out. Yeah, Nina, we'll be there. But Barb's like, do it, Andrea, retreat. Wait, I know.
I tried to line up one in the Cayman Islands one time. I actually met a trainer at a conference who was from the Cayman Islands. I said, well, what do we have to do to come down and do a workshop? She's like, well, there's not very many trainers down there. I'm like, I don't care. I'll come for 5, you know. And she never did quite pull it off. There weren't quite enough people interested.
But were ordered today, and I told you I was going to jump in the box with them, but unfortunately they're coming straight from the publisher, so I can't.
All righty. If we don't have any more questions, let's call it a day. Hopefully we'll see many of you on live Monday and Tuesday next week as we jump into the course curriculum. If you all have any questions, we've typed our emails into the chat box. You can reach us there. The Facebook group is still open for another about 30 hours, I guess. We'll shut that down sometime tomorrow night. So
want to download, save anything, now's the time to do it.
Yep. Check out the recordings you might have missed. Ask us a question. I will try to check it tonight. Leave comments in there.
Eve, I put my email is about two blurbs above Dan's. It's Andrea@thecancerspecialist.com, and Dan is contact@functionalaginginstitute.com.
Yeah, somebody asking about the advanced certification. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It must be the Cancer Exercise Specialist. It is just called Cancer Exercise Specialist Advanced Qualification.
Got it.
Typically describes what it is. We do have also, if anybody wants a free download, you can email me. We have a free Essentials of Cancer Exercise, and that is like a very stripped down version of the advanced qualification. It is not a certification, but it's just kind of an eye-opener about things that you need to know when working with cancer patients. So email me if you guys are interested in that. Happy to share that with you. And we also have a Pilates mat handbook for cancer. We have a yoga, just like Dan, there's lots of extraneous and complementary information and training.
All right, very good. It's been a great week.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see as many of you next week as possible. Again, it's ceti.teachable.com if you want to jump in on the super deal, saving almost $700, about half price on all these courses. So
start before 11:59 Eastern. So jump on it today, and we look forward to working with you guys over the next couple of months and making you superstar cancer exercise and functional aging specialists.
One more thing, last thing, Andrea, because I always forget this. So if you're watching on the recording in the Facebook group, just post a comment below, because I know some people couldn't be on live today. Just comment below the recording later today. Andrea and I will try to answer your questions. So if you had some questions and for whatever reason we didn't cover them, I think people asked just about every question they could. Yeah, but if you have a question, comment in the Facebook group. We'll be happy to try to address it tonight or tomorrow.
All right, perfect. And anonymous attendees, since we have no idea who you are, reach out to Dan about the download, because I don't even know what to call you. AA.
Hey. Yeah, there are a couple people that for some reason could not download the workbook from the Facebook group, and I'm not sure why that would be. It's just a simple Word doc, but if for whatever reason you can't download it, shoot us an email, and one of us can email it to you. So the workbook for this week was really just to help you take notes and have an idea of what the sessions we're going to cover and fill in fill in the blanks.
So just to let you know, Marcia Noah, Pam Cush, and Elizabeth Borzelli just signed up. Woo -woo.
Sweet. Woo-hoo. All right. Very good.
Can't wait to have you. All right.
All right. Awesome.
Have a great weekend.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.